welcome, selamat hari ke Indonesia, and welcome to round 7 of the HoloLive GT3 International Series. And today it's a bright and sunny afternoon here in Indonesia, here in Lombok, here in Mandalika, as we're about to get this race underway here in this Mandalika street circuit. And speaking of tracks, let's look at the track map for this very circuit. We're here in Mandalika. 4.3 kilometers of racing is due, which is basically 2.68 miles for those who use materials. 17 corners in total, and we're going to be seeing a lap count of 47 laps for 200 kilometers in this race. Target lap time, we're looking at it maybe at a mid to low 134 462s. As you can see here, the Mandalika circuit is fast, it's sweeping, it has a lot of high-speed corners in it. Definitely very much favors the ones with high downforce, and watch out for the Lexus cars, they might be on a dominant show. Speaking of track location, we're at the Central Lombok Regency at West Nusa Tenggara, which is basically in the southeast portion, which is basically the eastern island next to the main Java island in Indonesia. It is also race 1 of the Piala Hololive Indonesia. ID cars eligible for the cup. 9 Hololive Indonesia cars and their drivers will be duking it out on 3 tracks here in the International Series. We're racing in Mandalika, Sentul, and Sepang. Sepang basically will be deciding the champion on the Hololive Indonesia Cup, which is basically Piala Hololive Indonesia. And because Mandalika is an Indonesian racetrack, it's one of 2 home races for the Hololive ID members. Now, the next track will be at Sentul, but we'll talk about that in 2 weeks' time. And speaking of cars, let's talk about the entry list as well. New faces in the HoloLive GT3 International Series with the announcement of the new idol uniforms in the Our Bright Parade live concert, which will be due next month. Comes new liveries and new colors for much of the cars. From Aziz Muazzez to Don the Rob, we are seeing changes to the car numbers and the color schemes as well. Aziz Muazzez now sports a pink color number 62 Hyundai Risu Honda. Emerson Kurt has a pink and green Ironio 50 Nissan. Jason Fisher is replaced by JC Sudo. A red and black Crazy Oli car awaits. Lance Oryx now in the number 33 INT Series Lexus with a gold and yellow front end. Raymond Babo still remains in the 01 Pavolia Reina Honda. Kate Garcia and Monica Shalagi stay put in their vehicles. Hanori Miyuki has a new accent color, a darker blue, and has a new number 40, which was used by Murasaki Shion. Now it's used by Hanori Miyuki. Aaron Mazzi now takes over some of the Iris colors in the number 86 Iris Nissan. Mama Kachu has the sleek looking black and pink, no, not black, pink, the black and pink number 4 Mori Calliope Lexus. Mario Morse in the number 50 Takanashi Kiara Lexus remains unchanged. Jeremy Assam in the 17 Unamai Inanis Nissan remains unchanged as well, except the front end, which is now colored orangish, yellow, and purple. Brendan McCauley has a new accent color in the Gogura Nissan is now light blue instead of red. Santi Olivares has now have a less saturated yellow color and a new accent color in dark blue. Tara Pack with a new pink and green Terceras Fauna Lexus, and the championship leader Carolina Vieira da Silva in the Oro Crony ride now sports a less saturated and darker blue color on her Crony ride. Marcelo Lado has one of the biggest changes in the whole GT3 International Series grid so far, from brown and green to green and to a lighter shade of brown with hieroglyphic inscribings on the car representing the council member of Civilization Nanashimumi. Don the Rock. We basically had to divide 86 to 40, not exactly divide, but we had to change from 86 to 42 for Don the Rock, who now has the number 42 due to Aramasi taking up 86. And we have a new accent color for Don the Rock in the Hakos Bales Nissan. And with that out of the way, let's look into the championship standings. Here we have championship standings with the updated color standings after Phillip Island before this round. Vera da Silva leading the championship still. Santi Olivares in second, Brandon McConley third. The highest HoloLive Indonesia member trying to do some damage here is Maurice Tremblay down in 6th place, representing Hoshinova Muna. Lake Orange is also not far behind, 432 points. And also we want to take a look at Emerson Kurt, 10th in standings. Harapaf has the second place, beating out Emerson Kurt in the tiebreaker. So Harapaf leads Emerson Kurt. And speaking of the separate standings, the English Cup will not be seeing any changes this round until round 10. But for the Piala Hololive Indonesia, it's the start of a 3-round stint for all these drivers looking to do a bit of damage in the standings. From Raymond Pavo to Maurice Tremblay, who will be here to make a scene, we'll have to wait and see, as we'll be finally be able to say this for the first time in a month. Let's get to racing here in Mandalika, but first we'll have a qualifying session to sort out 50 minutes of qualifying to do, and also we need to announce the commentary booth while we're at it as well. I'm Muhammad Shazad Reza in the commentary booth, and alongside me is none other than Marcelo, but Zeke Wimberly in the number 54 Hakuri Koyori Honda. We just haven't announced that. So Zeke, wonderful day here in Indonesia. What are your thoughts heading into this qualifying session with these new cars? Well, new paint schemes.
I think the new cars look absolutely fabulous, first of all. But I'm looking into the race, I'm really hoping for the Indonesian cars to really just do some damage, as this is like what they want to do is just kind of blitz through this, well, not argue as fast as they can, but just be on their A game for like the next 3 rounds, as the Indonesian Cup doesn't really have very many races. You want to seize as much opportunity as you can.
Good point there from Z, as we're going to see a close-up there for the Nanashi Mume ride. As you can see here, very fabulous car, as he have absolutely mentioned here. Let's go on to a bit of the onboard to get up and close with the number 21 car. As you can see here, holographic inscriptions into the car. You will have an extra amount of points if you are able to inscribe what was written in these hieroglyphics. So obviously we haven't seen anyone take a guess on what these writings are about. But anyways, we're about to get into the end of this lap here in Mandalika to basically start off a hot lap here in this first of 3 rounds of the HoloLive GT3 International Series HoloLive Indonesia Cup, or we call it Piala Hololive Indonesia rounds. So Marcelo looking very fine there as he is approaching to these final 3 corners. And speaking of which, he is getting a bit slow there. Well, let's go on board Marcelo as he exits turn 16 and exiting turn 17 for his first hot lap in Mandalika in the newly renumbered and rechristened number 21 Nanashi Mume Honda. Now getting into the main straight here, you want to look for some braking opportunities. You want to brake at just about at around 100 meter board into turn 1. You can see here, 3rd gear corner, and heading into the slightly slower turns 2 and 3 may not be good for overtake, but you may want to give it a shot. Here we have the double apex turns 3 and 4, exiting turn 4. That's why you can start to face the really high speed corners, the ones with high downforce. These cars will be the ones to beat. 32.410 first sector for Marcelo. Another corner, he has to lift just a bit there. Turn 8 and into turn 9. There's a slow quarter up ahead. If you just turn 10, brake at 150 meter board. He's really taking it easy there. In 2nd gear too. So really slow corner for Mercer. And then another right-hander, a bit of a 100-degree right-hander, turn 11 and into turn 12, 90-degree, taking it into 4th gear, a bit of speed in there. Another medium speed corner in turn 13, and then we have a flat section in turn 14, a long blast, well, not exactly a long blast by any standard, heading into turn 15. Then you have to kind of break it through in a not straight line, braking while cornering to turn 16, so this will present some trouble for some of the drivers here. And into the slow turn 17. The great exit here is what you need to really nail your time in the straights. As you see here, 138.524 for Marcelo in the Nanashi Mume Honda. So obviously a few seconds off. So let's hope Marcelo can really improve on his time.
As we just saw from that little track demonstration there are a ton of very sharp and very slow corners you have to deal with, which I can imagine could be a nightmare for most of the Nissan drivers. So it's probably not going to be a very fun race for the Nissans.
Well, obviously it's not going to be a fun race for the Nissan as well. As we go on board, Monica Shalagi, as she sets the fastest time of the field so far, 1:34.593 in the Kyla Kowalskia Lexus. And we do mention that this track has a lot of high-speed corners, which is basically a ballpark for these Lexus cars. And because it's a high-speed corner track and not much of a low-speed corner and long straights track, the Nissans might be struggling just a bit. As you can see here, JC Sudo is the 5th fastest car, 1.3 seconds off of Shalagi's time, but it's the fastest Nissan. So the fastest Nissan compared to the fastest Lexus cars is 1.3 seconds off.
You know, for someone who just came here, JC Sudo seems to be a very promising contender. For the moment, Maurice Stromberg just made it in the 3rd. I don't know what place they were in before, but in the Muna car, looking pretty confident, especially for the Indonesian class car.
Well, the ID class cars are really showing up here. As you can see here, top 3 cars are currently in the Hololive Indonesia class. So Monica Shalagi in the number 58 Kyla Kowalskia Lexus, Lance Oryx in the person number 33 Anya Melfissa Lexus is currently in 2nd, and Maurice Trombley in the number 69, nice, Porsche Nova Muna Honda is currently in 3rd. So obviously very good showing there for the Hololive ID cars, and also Aziz Muazif, 4 cars in Hololive Indonesia inside the top 5.
Maybe this will be one of the rare occurrences where we'll get a Indonesia win, because every single win for the past 7 rounds or so have been EN cars. So maybe we'll have a change of fate here. Maybe, just maybe.
And speaking of fate, we are about to be fated to have a bright concert here in basically in 1 month's time. The Hololive 4 Festival, our Bright Parade concert is up next. And also complementing the whole thing is the Hololive Super Expo 2023, which will be held at Adak-RMS Exhibition Hall. As you can see here by the bottom right messages, we are seeing some messages talking about the 4 Festival and all this stuff. If you are in Japan and you're interested in attending these events and also want to attend the concert, and if you are not in Japan, you can at least watch the concert live stream on the Spawn website or the Streaming Plus. There will be a hashtag on the bottom right for you to scan, and it redirects you to the Hololive Super Expo website so that you are able to either go to the expo or watch the 4 Fest through any means possible. So by any means possible is either going live by getting there in person yourself if you're in Japan, or if you're not able to go to the concert, you can at least scan your QR code, scan that QR code on the bottom right to basically at least be interested in buying those live streaming tickets. So anyways, back to the track, back to the on-track action. We're looking at Lenses Oryx's lap time, 0.03 of a second behind Monica Shalage.
Did Shalagi's car break down by any chance? Doesn't seem to be Oh no, I'm just stupid. Okay, my bad.
It happens, don't worry. So we're looking at the top 10 right now. Parapaf with the rechristened number 85, Sarasvana Lexus sits at 10th place. Yuki. Excuse me, there is a bit of a glitch here. We're gonna be ending this qualifying session soon because there is a bit of an error. Because it's not the Hanori Miyuki, sorry, it's not the Kobokanairu Nissan that we'll be seeing. We are actually seeing a Kazama Iroha Nissan. So yeah, it's a wrong livery. So we're gonna have to nullify this qualifying result. We're gonna apologize for a short while. We're gonna apologize because we're gonna have to red flag this qualifying session. And we're gonna have to start from scratch. But yeah, a bit of a oopsie here from our side. So yeah, I mean it happens sometimes. It's not the first time we have had some issues with the wrong liveries and stuff. It happened in Okayama last April. Who knew it happened again here? But then again, it happens. But in the meantime, let's try to reminisce of what happened in the previous rounds, basically, as we've wanted to basically talk about. So as we're going to basically reshuffle the liveries and stuff, let's get into the numbers back. We are going to be giving Hanori Miyuki the Kobo Kanairu skin back. And we are about to basically get the qualifying session back underway. But we're going to need to shorten the qualifying session back to 7 minutes. Just a bit of a check here. Okay, back to 7 minutes. Okay, so let's get back to the qualifying session. Unfortunately, we will have to reset the qualifying standings as it said, but the qualifying session will resume at 7 minutes. Let's hope that Monica Shalagi, Lance Oryx, and all the Holo ID cars manage to bounce back here in the qualifying times. Because if we haven't been in line already, we had 4 Holo ID cars inside the top 5 in qualifying, but as we've reset the qualifying session and the qualifying times, and we're getting back to 7 minutes on the clock here in this qualifying session. Apologies again for what has happened. So let's get back on track. We're going to go for this panoramic view first. And yeah, let's get back into the track here. Sorry if we had to reset the qualifying times, but you know, it happens stuff, so that is another thing that we need to pay attention to. So here we are, back to Raymond Pavo. So let's talk about the individual drivers first. So let's talk about some of the individual drivers. Raymond Pavo has had a pretty much on and off time in Hololive GT3. He had been MIA towards a while, and his ride was temporarily taken over by Faust Mori. And to see Raymond Pavo back on track here to represent his Oshi Pavolia Rene, what do you think is in his mind?
That he should win, definitely, because Raymond Pavo has not had the best season, season so far. I don't think, yeah, it's just not bad. So maybe in the ID Cup, it's going to be a surprise win for Raymond Pavo. I hope so anyway.
So we're looking at the results back about Raymond Pavo's championship standings. So Raymond Pavo is currently sitting last in the standings at only 104 points. About 52 points behind 18th place Don Rob in the Hakos Bales Nissan. So Raymond Pavo, I do mention that he has a lot to prove for the Meratyats. So let's see Raymond Pavo's lap once again. This time we're gonna go outboard in basically his ride. Raymond Pavo, let's see how his lap time stands. Z, I want to hear your thoughts when we get into the first sector.
Maybe a good first sector, but we haven't really seen the driving skills of Raymond Pavo just yet. This nice race. Hope he's got a nice race going on right now, but just I believe he's good. Never mind. Go on.
Okay, anyway, meanwhile, we're going back on board in the number 01 Pavolia Rene ride. And as you can see here, he's looking very dancey there in the first sector. We're going back to the timing board, 31.541, a pretty decent first sector from what we can tell. And heading into the second sector here, heading into the fast sweepers. He is approaching turn 10. Brake about here between 150 and 100 meter points. More confident on the brakes here as he basically dances his car around the track. As you can see here, Pavo is actually slightly catching up to Santi Olivares. And you can see here by the speed trap, which is recorded at, I can't remember, I think it's at the end of turn 9. And meanwhile, he's currently trying to dance himself into turns 13 and 14. A fast chicane, a left, and then a flat-out right. And then here's the tricky braking section, because you have to brake here first at turn 15. And your braking is not straight. Either you wanted to not risk it and lift off and brake earlier, or you want to really attack and risk losing control heading into turn 16. But now Raymond Pavo exits turn 17. Back on board here. Let's see how his lap time stands. It's a 1:35.216. Very good lap for Raymond Pavo.
Not good enough though, as he gets pushed to second. Nope, third by Mozzie. Well, I'm just jinxing myself at this rate. It's still a good lap though. I believe that's slightly better than average, and fourth isn't that bad of a place to be sitting right there. That's second row, which is a pretty snazzy spot, especially for someone who hasn't been doing the best this season.
But let's also give credit to Monica Schalage. We gave a prediction of a lap time 134.5 between 5 to 4. But Monica Schalage has absolutely destroyed the lap times here. 133.513 for the driver representing Kyla Kowalska. Monica Schalage is keen to represent the Toyota and Lexus brand, and she's also keen to represent Kyla Kowalska as well. And as you can see here, and look at this Wama Cashew really attacking Don the Rock. Just shows you how much the Nissan is struggling at this track.
Yeah, not gonna be a very fun race for the Nissan, sorry. Just too much power. We gotta give the Lexus some fun.
Not exactly. They have the power they need, but they're not agile enough in the corners. As Emerson heard there in INT 15 Nissan. Shows what the Nissan is worth. Only 1.3 seconds off of Monica Schalag's time. Meanwhile, we're seeing more lap times here. Hanari Miyuki. This time, we have the proper livery, and to make it up for the wrong liveries, here we have a shot of Hanari Miyuki's number 40 Kobo Kanairu Nissan.
Quite a stunning car, I might add.
And also, Aziz Moazi really showing his potential here. He had a very lackluster first half of the season, and now heading into the second half here, Aziz Moazi is really keen to get himself back in formation. He's only about 400 points behind the championship leader, but we've seen bigger swings in the Japan series, like for example, Putri Farah Kamal literally carrying the car from last place to winning the Split B championship. I think it's possible for Aziz Moazi to turn things around in the final 6 races of the season.
If the top of the leaderboard starts slacking, that is a possibility.
Possibility indeed for the guys at the back. And meanwhile, we're looking at the top 10 and see how many of these are not inside the top 10. Monica Schalage currently sits 14th, is currently leading the timing sheets. And then we have Aziz Moazi in 16th, is in 4th place. Kate Garcia is currently down in 15th place, is up to 6th. And then we have JC Sudo as well, who is currently 17th. And also Raymond Pavo. So that makes it 5 drivers outside the top 10, inside the top 10 in the qualifying session. And the number still remains because Hanari Miyuki just bumped Raymond Pavo outside the top 10 as she takes 6th place.
Ouchie. Currently looking at, I think the ID cars have a decent chance to actually win the whole thing, because Schalage, I believe, has the Kyla Kowalski car, which is an ID class car, has a fair chance of winning, especially with her stunning lap times of the 133s, which is absolutely amazing. I think they have a fair chance of beating their EN sisters.
Their EN counterparts, correct. And as you can see here, Monica Schalage, Aziz Moazi, Maurice Tremblay, Hanari Miyuki, Kate Garcia, Emerson Kerr, and JC Sudo. These are the drivers in the IDE class inside the top 10 of this qualifying session, as we're about to draw this qualifying session to a close. Here's JC Sudo. We're going to be seeing one last lap from him and see if we can find any improvements for him.
So 42nd right now, and I believe it's still on the first second. Potential to be a good lap, but I think nothing's really going to change for now.
And also Carolina Vieira da Silva, championship leader, is currently out qualifying outside the top 15. She only manages to improve. That's her lap time. That's her qualifying session done. She will start 16th unless Mazzy and Olivars have anything to say about it. We will also have a gaggle of cars at the back. Mercer Ledoux and Kate Garcia and also Lance Oryx. Mazzy bumps Vieira da Silva down to 17th. It's not going to be looking good for the championship leader. JC Suda is about to finish his first qualifying session in HoloLive GT3 International. And as you can see here, we are being given the indicator that Aziz Mazif will qualify 4th unless some of the other drivers at the back are gonna have anything to say about it. Let's look at the final 3 cars. We're about to finish the qualifying session. We will not be seeing any improvements here, and that's the end of the qualifying session. And the results are in. It's a HoloLive Indonesia pole for Monica Shalage, and for the first time since round 2 at Road America.
Wowzers.
So anyways, we're gonna be taking a look into the starting lineup for all 19 cars lining up here in Mandalika at Lombok, Indonesia. And we have the Lexus front 3 spots locking out the field, a front row lockout for the Lexus RCFs as Monica Shalage sets the pole in the Kyla Kowalskia Lexus. Harapaf in the newly colored number 85. Sarasvana Lexus will start second. Mama Casio in the rechristened number 4 Mori Calliope Lexus will start third. And then we have Aziz Muazdif back inside the top front 5 positions. Will start 4th in the Ayunda Risu number 62 Honda. Maurice Trombley in the number 69 Hoshinova Muna Honda will start 5th. And then we have Farari Miyuki now in the proper Kobo Kanairu Nissan colors in 6th. Kei Garcia 7th in the Vestia Zeta Nissan. That makes all 3 Holo Hero cars inside the front 7 spots. Emerson Kurt with the Iron Ear 50 Nissan will start 8th in the new colors. Jeremy Asim in the freshly recolored number 17 in the Mayanana Nissan will start 9th in the standings. JC Sudo, first HoloLive GT3 start, will start 10th in the Crazy Oli Nissan. Raymond Monpavo, second race back from a hiatus, will now start 11th in the how do you say the Pavolia Rene Honda. And then we have Les Oryx, who was number 12. He was qualified 12th in the new number 33, Anya Melfisa Lexus. Barcelado in the number 13. Nanashi Mume Honda will start 13th in the Car of Civilization. Mary Morris is currently on the top portions of the standings. He's now down in 14th in the Takanashi Kiara Lexus. Brendan McCauley 15th in the Gaogura Nissan, also on top of the standings. I believe he is second in his championship standings. Aaron Mazzi inside the top 10 in the new colored number 86 Iris Nissan, who was number 16. And we have the championship leader down in 17th, Carolina Vieira da Silva. Despite running a Lexus, she's not finding the pace she wants to have in that Oroconi Lexus. Sandy Olivar is also competing for a championship inside the top 3, down in 18th in the Wasamalia Honda. And Don Rob, as Chaos says, you're going to be qualifying at the back, but you may cause chaos further back in the number 42 Hagos Bales Nissan. So as we're about to get this race underway, and we're going to be moving into intermission, Z, I want to hear your thoughts.
I want to look forward to a Saboteur, to be honest. If True Chaos is going to be started from the back, it's going to be from Don Dorop holding back first place and absolutely messing up the standings because of it. It's going to be awesome if that happens. But it's probably not.
Maybe not, but we're looking at Don Dorop, who is currently 3.7 seconds back from Monica Shalage in the qualifying session. We could be seeing a massive shakeup in the in the race order right now. We're about to get 47 laps of racing here in Mandalika. Front row Lexus cars. Monica Shalage in the Kyla Kowalska car is going to be leading the way, and we're about to get this race underway. A very good launch there from the Kyla Kowalska car. Monica Shalage gets this race going. But look at Harapap getting it done, closing in into the leader as all the 19 cars head into turn 1. Welcome back, HoloLive GT3. And looking at, Parapat is got a bit loose there into turn 1, and into turn 2 will we be seeing any crashes and contact. Some inside moves by Kei Garcia and Hanari Miyuki. A lot of jostling for position there as Shalagi still leads the field. Cashew is currently battling Harapap there. Another glitch into the standing. We apologize for that. Harapap is now down to 3rd place. And we have Maurice Trombley holding on to 4th. More Lexus battles in 4th. As you can see, Harapap getting moved off wide. Trombley almost gets off track. And that allows Aziz Moazed to really closing on the outside. More side-by-side battles here. This is turn 10. And look at that, taking a lot of curb there. Aziz Moisif, not sorry, Maurice Tremblay, and Aziz Moisif looks to try to make a move down the outside, and you can see here Tremblay nearly squeezes him off the track, and now Aziz Moisif is now up to 4th place. Shalagi leads. Harapaf second, Casio third. More inside moves out. Oh, you can see here there's contact between Tremblay and Moisif. Tremblay tries to go aggressive down the inside, and now both cars have damage. And you can see his battle for 4th. Moisif still holds on to 4th. Tremblay 5th. Hanori Miyuki 6th. Garcia 7th. That up to 6. And then we have a large jostling position. You can see here Jeremy Asim 9th and JC Sudo in 10th.
What is going on?
What is going on? We're seeing some manic racing here, and we're not even halfway into the race. We're only allowed to in this race, and Hanari Miyuki is gonna try to challenge Emerson Kerr for more positions here, and now the timing charts have properly updated. And as you can see here, it's a battle for 7th place. Miyuki really making the outside line work. Miyuki now up to 7th.
Alright, now that the charts are slightly better, I can actually start knowing what's going on. So Pavo managed to get up to 9th, good job, and then we still got more jostling for position within 11 and 12 between Oryx and Sudo. Sudo jumped down to 12. Trombley jumped down to 6, and it's somewhat peaceful now, yay.
Somewhat peaceful now, yes, of course, but who knows, we could be seeing some massive shakeups in the race leading forward here. Remember, it's race 1 of 3 of the Piala Hololive Indonesia. ID cars, the Hololive Indonesia cars are eligible for this championship. Best Hololive Indonesia driver in these 3 races will be considered the Piala Hololive Indonesia champion. Meanwhile, we could be seeing another battle here between Maurice Tremblay and Kate Garcia. And as you can see here, Kate Garcia was literally hot on the heels of everyone, and now she's up to 5th, but Maurice Tremblay might be able to catch her.
It's like a game of cat and mouse between Tremblay and Garcia right now. It's just all a matter of when to really strike right now, but because of all the corners around here, it's a very, very aggressive track, which I look forward to seeing how that's going to turn out.
And as you can see here, the Lexus car have now built up a near 3-second gap between the leader, Monica Shalage, and Aziz Moisif. Aziz Moisif still the best Honda right now with a slightly beat up number 62, Ayunda Risu Honda. And as you hear, Kate Garcia is really struggling in the corners, and Trump is looking for every avenue that he could find to get it back up to 4th. Because Kate Garcia, even in the fastest Nissan, she's struggling at the moment.
Yeah, that's Nissan's not. It's surprising that a Nissan is even that far up there. I would be proud to be even in 5th at the moment in a Nissan on this track. So I'm still going to give props to Garcia for that, for being the strongest Nissan.
And on board Lance Orsi trying to make a move onto Jeremy Asim in the number 17 Indomaya Nissan. Lance Orsi and Anya Belfissa right gets it done. Goes over the curb, nearly pushes Jeremy Asim off wide there. The cars are really dancing onto the limit here. And as you can see here, more battles here at the back. As you can see here, JC Sudo and Marion Morris. Marion Morris on the inside of JC Sudo, heading into the turn 13 and 14 sweeper. JC Sudo has the inside line once again. And now into the tricky braking section of turn 15. JC Sudo is now ahead. And Maurice Tremblay is looking to pass Kate Garcia. And Hanari Miyuki is basically on the heels of the 2.
It's like a constant shift in me. I think Garcia's gonna get an overtake maybe on Tremblay. Nope, it's long gone. Okay, yep, Tremblay has secured his position quite well. Good job, Maurice.
And right now, Hanari Miyuki is now also hot on the heels of Kate Garcia. But she gets loose. She took a lot of curve there. Now she's exposed to Emerson Kerr. Emerson Kerr now going to the move. And now he's now open to Raymond Pavo. He's gone way too deep. And Raymond Pavo is going to look to overtake Emerson Kerr up to A. What a manic race we have here in Mandalika.
As you can see from that example there, it takes one little slip up. Just one to mess up like your entire standing, essentially.
And look at Jeremy Asim there.
Very neck and neck right now. It's going to be up to who has the inside line, I believe, but it's just not going to be enough at the moment as Oryx doesn't overtake on Asim.
And meanwhile, Cashew has really closed up on the race leader, Monica Shilage. We could be seeing a HoloLive English car spoiler party of the HoloLive Indonesia cars. Remember, it's a HoloLive Indonesia car leading the field. That is Monica Shilage. Can Monica Shilage hold on to Mohamed Cashew? Meanwhile, there's still a lot of battles here as Raymond Pavel closes it into the tight, tricky braking section into turn 16. Will we be seeing a mistake from Hanari Miyuki? The answer is no. But we are going to be seeing some slight slip up from Raymond Pavel. And now we're looking at Raymond Pavel, who's trying to catch up to Hanari Miyuki. We're now on lap 5. We're gonna be telling you that we have also increased the fuel capacity of these cars from 90 liters to 120 due to the increased race length. We're now going to be primarily looking at a one-stop and looking at this race fuel monitors. We're looking at a few guys who are looking to pit early.
That's gonna be a somewhat risky decision, I'd argue. I guess tire wear can be a problem on this track, but I don't know where a two-stop would really be incorporated, but I'd love to see how that goes.
But right now, everyone's looking to pit early. Lance Ordis is going to try to make a move down to Emerson Kerr. He's closing in. He's making the move down the inside. It's turn 10 for Lance Ordis. Takes the curb very comfortably, but loses out because, as you can see here, Emerson Kerr hangs on to the outside line. Ordis tries to hang on to the inside and is now lost out to Emerson Kerr. So Ordis stays in 10th. Kurt stays in 9th.
I'd look out for Pavo and Orox. Those two seem to be out for blood this morning, this noon, this night, whatever time zone you're in right now. Those two just are on the hunt right now for positions. They're not fighting for silver screen. They're fighting for podiums. They're probably not going to get podiums, but it's still fun to see them slowly rise up the ranks.
And looking at Mercedes is really not up to the pace right now. He's now losing a lot of time compared to Don DeRob, who was lowest in qualifying, but now we're seeing Mercedes lowest in the race. Not looking good there for the car of civilization. Mercedes representing Nanashin movement, number 21 Honda. Meanwhile, the Rob is looking for an overtake by Santi Olivares. As you can see on board these two cars, there may be contact. I don't think there is contact, but they're still side by side heading into the fast sweepers of turns 2 and 3. Olivares and the Rob. Rob has the inside line, gets himself clean. Olivares tried to go for a very good exit there, but gets pushed off wide slightly. And the Rob is now up to 17th.
A little bit of chaos in this race. Well, that wasn't very chaotic. I shouldn't be saying that. But still, the Rob managed to go from 19th to 17th. I mean, still fighting for Silver Spoon. Maybe they can get within the points, but it's still, at least they get to brag they didn't get in last, you know?
Well, they are not in last. That is the one thing that's important. But meanwhile, we're still seeing a Lexus lockout between the three cars of Monica Shalage, Mama Cashew, and Harapaf. Harapaf in that number 85 Sarasvana. Lexus really trying to bring home a win for the Saplings, but obviously they need to pass some other respectable drivers like Mohamed Cashew, who is currently in the top 5 of the standings, and Monica Shalage, who is currently not inside the top 10 even, and is actually leading in an Indonesian track, in an Indonesian round, in a whole ID car. So Monica Shalage has every reason to hold her lead, and it's basically her race to lose.
Yeah, it's hoping for an ID car finish. Hoping. In a perfect world, that would be it. But I don't think this is a perfect world.
Yeah, it's no perfect world. Yeah, continue.
Oh, wait, hold on. Don DeRoth is in the pits.
Yeah, Don DeRoth is in the pits.
It's like lap 7.
But don't worry, remember we did mention that the cars have now have this regulation change where it's no longer 90 liters of fuel in their fuel tanks, but it's now 120 liters in the fuel tank. And as you can see here, Don DeRob is basically fuel to the brim. He's gonna do the one stop.
I still find pitting on laps, it's gonna be a year from now, I'm still gonna be commentating and I will still never get over that. Okay, back to the
track at hand anyway. It seems everything's calmed down for a little bit, except the middle. The middle is always a mess.
The mid-pack.
Yeah, it's always a mess. It's like, it looks like anyone's gonna surpass anyone at like any moment. Oh yeah, also Cashew's in the pits.
Yeah, Cashew inside the pits here for his one and only start. We're looking at the field monitor for Mama Cashew. Cashew's also filled to the brim as well. With the 120-liter fuel tank, everyone can basically afford to pit earlier than usual. They'll be very light on the start and then fuel to the brim in the end. So it's gonna be a race on who has the fresher tires and who can manage their fuel at best. So right now we're looking at Monica Schlag is still consolidating her race lead and adjusting for pit strategy right now. Cashew is only the second driver to pit. And looking at the fuel monitors, we don't have any drivers being called into the pits just yet. But we're looking at Aziz Moazif. He's doing very well in third place in the Hyundai Risu Honda.
Do you still think a Lexus lockout is probably going to happen by any chance?
A Lexus podium lockout, we will see on how fast Cashew is on the track relative to the race leaders right now. But I feel like with Cashew pitting from second place, and given that he has similar race pace to... we're seeing more battles here between Mary Morris and JC Sudo, and also Emerson Kerr and Jeremy Asim. Lance Morris have finally made the pass done onto, not exactly, they're still side by side here, Emerson Kerr and Oryx. Kurt versus Oryx heading into turns 13 and 14. Oryx now has 8th, and Sudo is now down to 12. Marion Morris has already re-overtaken Marion Morris. Marion Morris is now up to 11th.
Like I said, Pavo and Oryx out for blood at the moment, and it seems Oryx only gets closer to Pavo right now, and he's going into the pits.
Third driver into the pits,
okay.
Lance Oryx. We're looking at more drivers being called, and also Jeremy Asim. Watch out for Jeremy Asim. He's going to be into the pits as well on the next lap. But meanwhile, he's going to go guns blazing on his in lap. So he's going to try to wear out the tires as much as possible and be as fast as possible in this lap to make sure that he has a chance of winning. Now here's Mohamed Cashew inside the main straight here, and here we see Lance Oryx still having his car service, and Don the Rock still inside basically approaching turns 15 and 16.
Looking at how far behind Don the Rock is, do you think lapped cars can be an issue this race?
Due to the length of the track, maybe and maybe not. We've seen in Phillip Island, we've seen where in Interlagos where the track length is similar to Phillip Island and this track here in Mandalika. All the cars finish on the lead lap, remarkably. And here we see another battle here between Marion Morris and Jeremy Asim. Asim on the inside. He said that he wants to make sure it's worth the in lap, and Jeremy Asim still trying to defend Marion Morris but is currently unable to defend. Asim is now down to 10th, and now Monica Shalage is pitting. Let's see Shalage's battle with Cashew unfold.
It's gonna be interesting to see how this one-stop works out for, well, the one-stop cars, and seeing how many Lexuses, that sounded so stupid, but seeing how many Lexus cars are pitting. Well, just everyone's pitting right now, but seeing how many Lexus cars pit, it makes it very interesting to see how tire wear is gonna affect this race at all.
And looking at the track map right now, when the timing will show, we are only seeing one Lexus car pitting. Here's Monica Shalage getting out of the pits. Here's Mama Cashew already passing Monica Shalage, so the undercut has absolutely worked at his favor for Mohamed Cashew. But remember, Monica Shalage has the better tires right now, and let's say he's being held back by Mercer Ledoux. This will mean trouble for Cashew and wonders for Shalage. But that will also mean that we need to check on Harapaf as well, because Harapaf has yet to pit in this race as well.
I think the Lexus cars can reclaim their podium spots eventually, because everyone has to pit. That's kind of a necessity within Holo. Should I still say Holo-GT3 even though it's kind of getting rebranded?
Meanwhile, looking at a battle of Marion Morris and Raymond Pavo. Marion Morris having the fresher tires. They haven't yet pit the both of them right now. And right now, Raymond Pavo looking for ways to defend against a very fast Marion Morris. Marion Morris is the first driver to win 2 races in HoloLive GT3 International at the moment, and currently Morris exiting the final turn is looking for ways to overtake Raymond Pavo. As you can see here, Aaron Mazzi and Vieira da Silva hitting from 8th and 9th.
I would watch out for Morris. I would be scared. 2-time winner of the, well, not like the whole thing, but they've run 2 races, and they're in 7th, and on top of that, they're a Lexus car on this track. That is an absolute nightmare.
An absolute nightmare for Nissan, yes, but an absolute dream for the Lexus cars, correct. Because right now, we're looking at Marion Morris really closing in onto Raymond Pavo. As you can see here, them dancing on the high-speed course, and you can see how comfortable the Lexus cars is. And look at Marion Morris down the inside. He's going to be getting inside the curve just a bit. Gets shuffled into the curve, getting into the grass here, but will he have enough momentum? The answer is no. Marion Morris will have to step back in line and look for an opportunity elsewhere. And looking at the gaps between Oryx and Schalage, from Schalage and Cashew, it's insane. 5.5 seconds. That shows you how much the undercut strategy works for them, because Monica Schalage was in the race lead.
It's gonna be a matter of aggression and how fast you blitz for Schalage if they want their first place back. I mean, the race is already very, very young, and tire wear is going to be a problem, so you want to get, like, that blitz in the first bit, so when everyone has, like, burnt-out tires, you also have burnt-out tires, so it doesn't matter as much.
So Mercelado also peeling into the pits. That will mean Muhammad Cashew will be unleashed into this track. Meanwhile, we're looking at Aziz Muazif. He only needs to do, like, around 2 laps left in this circuit before he makes his first and only scheduled stop, hopefully. So with Muhammad Cashew being unleashed into this track, it's now a 2-horse race between Monica Schalage and Muhammad Cashew. And looking at the track right now, with how good the undercut strategy is here at Mandalika, Lance Oryx is also now up to 3rd place.
I'm rooting for Oryx. I'm gonna bet on the 3rd race, even though they're probably not gonna win. I'm rooting for you, Lance Oryx. Come on, show who's boss.
And right now, we're looking at the pretty decent viewer count here on the stream here. Welcome on board, everyone. We hope you're enjoying the racing product here in the HoloLive GT3 International Series. We're at round 7 of the race here in Mandalika, and we just want to give you a bit of a refresher. We're going to be taking a look back into the championship standings. Remember, Da Silva is currently 630 points race leader, and she's now down to 15th place, so she will only gain 1 point from all this conundrum. Santi Olivares is also now down in 17th place, meaning that he will not score any points. The biggest gainer here could be Muhammad Cashew in the Mori Calliope Lexus. He's leading the track he's leading basically the entire field right now, because Aziz Muazif has yet to pit. And with him leading, there's another overtake somewhere. We're gonna need to get back into this one. McCauley and Vieira da Silva. As you can see here, McCauley has overtaken the championship leader back, because da Silva was trying to look for an overtaking opportunity into turn 10, and that didn't work out for da Silva. And now McCauley's back up to 14th.
The results of this after this race is gonna be so weird, because all of the podium people are like super low in this race, and then all of like the people that don't score points are suddenly scoring points. So now everything's gonna get like an entire reshuffle after this, and it's just gonna be, I have no idea what the championship, I usually have a somewhat of an idea on what it's gonna look like. I have no idea what it's gonna look like.
It's anyone's guess on who's going to be winning the championship right now. Silva, who was comfortably leading the standings, is now on the verge of losing her championship lead once again, this time to Muhammad Cashew in the Mori Calliope Lexus. You can see here in the recolored number 4 Cali car, obviously very slick, mean, and definitely looking as it intended from the apprentice Grim Reaper, and you can see here the Reaper Rapper is leading the race here in what you call Mandalika. But look at Monica Shilage. The gap was 3.2 seconds when Mercer Ledo pitted in front, when Ledo was ahead of Cashew. But now Shilage looks to be back in it. 1.7 seconds the gap between Shilage and Cashew.
And then, of course, Mazepin has gone into the pits, so Cashew should be planning an overtake while Mazepin is in the pits of course, so that it's back to a net lead of Cashew in first right now, and Shilage has anything.
Wait, no, we're looking at Aziz Mwazif. Aziz Mwazif has basically jumped everyone. It's an interesting surprise. He has gone for the overcut strategy, staying up in front, and with the field that he has right now, he can basically fit for shorter amounts of time. And with that, Aziz Mwazif is now your net race leader.
This is weird. This wasn't supposed to happen.
It wasn't supposed to happen at first. We weren't actually going to think Aziz Mwazif is going to win. We were expecting him to get a good result. We were actually expecting him to get third. But now he's leading the race. He's leading here in Mandalika in the Hyundai Honda. We could be seeing a winless streak snap this race by Aziz Mwazif. But of course, we only have about 34 laps to go here in Mandalika. Anything still goes.
If Mazepin wins, it would be really, really funny, because that really just prevents the Lexus lockout.
Prevents the Lexus lockout.
Mazepin in general just basically destroyed the Lexus lockout in its entirety. I don't think they're dropping 3 positions.
Well, we will still be paying attention to some of the other ID contenders. Monica Shilage, third place right now in the Kyla Kowalski Lexus, and right now we're looking at Muhammad Cashew, who is losing time right now. 136.421 for Cashew. Shilage is nearly a second faster than Cashew, so Shilage might still be in it for the win here in Mandalika.
Anyone within the top 4 basically has a chance of winning, because I'm still rooting for Lance Oryx, and I'm gonna let my bias fly.
Well, you do you, I guess, but for now, Lance Oryx is still sniffing for a position on the podium spots right now. Remember, 200 points for the winner, 175 points for second, 150 points for third, and 130 points for fourth. With Aziz Mwazif winning this race, this would mean that he will be jumping. Let's get back in the championship standings. He will be jumping from 219 to 419, meaning that as it stands, he might be sniffing for a spot inside the top 10. Meanwhile, we're looking at another battle here between Raymond Pavo and Kate Garcia. Kate Garcia got shuffled out from the racing line, and Raymond Pavo has basically pounced on her.
Yeah, Pavo and Oryx, bloodhounds of this race. There's always at least 1 or 2 of them each race. It's usually different each race, but there are a couple that are just, like.
And right now,
never mind.
Yeah, okay. So we're looking back out on Shilage, looking for any opportunity that she can find, any trick in the book, any trick in the spell book for Shilage to find opportunities to pass Muhammad Cashew for third place. Remember, Shilage has a faster pace right now, but I think she's lost out just a bit. And now Lex Oryx is now back into the mix. Lance Oryx might actually have a chance to basically pounce on the opportunity to steal a podium position from Shilage.
I think Shilage is still slightly faster. Out of the 3 of them, I think Shilage, from what I saw, had the best pace out of everyone, just only barely. So they're gonna want to have to pick up the pace just a little bit more if they want to snag that podium. Sorry, not podium, but first place spot.
And looking at Aziz Mwazif, he's definitely on a tear right now. Looking at the lead that he has at the moment, 3 seconds ahead of Muhammad Cashew. That just shows you how much you need to take care of your tires and how much you need to stay alert with your pace at the moment. Because remember, here in Mandalika it's quite hot. Temperatures of 90+ degrees Fahrenheit and 30 degrees Celsius. means that your tires are literally going to be cooked in these constant medium to high speed corners. These tires are crying, begging for some reprieve and respite. The tires are absolutely spiking in these tires, and with Wazir absolutely managing his tires at best, that means he's able to basically consolidate the race lead. So good job to Muhammad Aziz Wazir. He's currently leading the standings. I mean, he's currently leading this race.
And 2 seconds ahead of the top, the 3 people behind him by about, like I said, I think 2 seconds, which is very impressive. It seems Mazda has this in the bag from what we are seeing right now.
Wazif is on clean air, and Kashyap and Ors are on a constant battle for second. This will also help Wazif in getting himself away from the battle pack in the from second to fourth. But another thing that he needs to pay attention is Mercer Lado. Mercer Lado is currently in turn 16 right now, and Aziz Wazif is currently in turn 10. We're only on lap 17 right now, and we are looking at the possibility that we will be seeing lap cars getting in the way of the whole race leader. And Harapaf, though, we also want to mention that Harapaf started on the front row and is now down to 18th. What has absolutely happened to her?
I guess the sapling tiers that powered the fauna car just kind of gave out. You know, they weren't sad enough.
And hopefully with the saplings crying again when Harapaf is at the back, she could mount a comeback. But looking at the race fuel monitor, everyone is fueled to the brim. Everyone will make it at the end of this race. And looking at the conditions right now, we will be seeing a second pit stop to get fresh tires and basically be faster than everyone else, while everyone was running on absolute fumes and on worn out tires. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think everyone's going to be daring to make a second stop. But we're seeing another battle here between Hanori Miyuki and Emerson Kerr. Emerson Kerr's now up to 6, overtakes Hanori Miyuki at the final 2 turns, and now Raymond Pavo's in the mix.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a giant, like, battle for, like, who can be the best middle car, and it seems Pavo is trying to make a dive on Pseudo, I think, and it's like neck and neck right now, I believe.
3 wide!
Don't know.
There's contact!
Ooh, that was a minor spin out right there with Kate Garcia. Kind of tumbles a little, still has their composure going on right there, but jumps down to 11. That was a terrible mistake by Kate Garcia.
Kate Garcia was going for broke there. She was trying to go around the inside of those 2 cars, going 3 wide to turn 2. That didn't work out for him. Marion Morris has a very good exit off of turn 9. Will he make a dive on down the inside of turn 10? He's not close enough. But yeah, we can see here Kate Garcia trying to go 3 wide there into turn 2. That didn't work out. The 3 cars are not going to fit in there, and she really paid the price. Well, she was about in the 8th or 9th, and she's now down to 11th place, so not looking good for Kate Garcia. And now look at Raymond Pavo on the inside of Hanori Miyuki. There's no contact between the 2 just yet. Excuse me. As Raymond Pavo heading into turns 15 and 16, Miyuki has the inside line. She will have the inside. Her braking just got a bit too wary. The outside line is open for multiple drivers there. And Raymond Pavo has the inside line of the final corner. Yes, they're still fighting between the 2. And Pseudo got loose there, and right now Pseudo's open for an attack by Kate Garcia. She's gonna get herself back inside the top 10. Let's see what she can do.
This is the most calm middle section I've ever seen.
Oh,
it's usually a lot more chaotic.
It's usually a lot more chaotic, but it can't get. Let's see if it can get better than this between these 2 cars. And now Kate Garcia gets pushed off wide into turn 3. That's not what she needs to be at the moment, and she's now under pressure from Jeremy Assam.
Okay. It's Assam is catching up at a surprising, well, somewhat not surprisingly scary rate, but at a scary rate. So while Garcia is trying to get their former glory back, they also have to watch their behind, because Assam is right on it trying to steal that position. That's scary.
And right now, Mama Cashew is not finding the pace he needs to challenge Mwase for the top spot here, despite having one of the fastest cars in the field. Shilage is trying to defend from all he can from Lance Orange is looking to pass Shilage for third place. Each of these battles against the top between second and fourth is basically detrimental to basically. Wait a second. There's a bit of a glitch there in the standings here because I'm not. Oh, never mind. This was the qualifying ones. But meanwhile, we're looking at basically the timetable for the cars here right now. The last lap for Aziz Mwazin was a 2:35.242. Cashew is getting himself back up into the leader space at 35.399. And Shilage and Lance Orange aren't far behind. Everyone else is lapping at 36s and in the 37s, except Emerson Kerr, who's lapping at 35s. Sorry, 36s. So maybe watch out for Emerson Kerr because he's catching up to the rest of the field.
How did Kurt get in 6th? It's been like the most uneventful race for Kurt, and I don't know. He's just been like the most average driver out there, and it's somehow working for Kurt. Good job.
Meanwhile, we're looking at some of the. Excuse me?
Continue.
Okay, so we're looking at Lance Oryx there. He's losing touch to Muhammad Cashew, but he is finding an opportunity to get past Monica Shilage. Shilage is really losing touch to Cashew at the moment there into turn 16. Will Oryx make a move down on the outside? The answer is no so far. 35.244 for Aziz Mouassif. What will Cashew respond with? A 35.399. Shilage 35.631, 35.588 for Lance Oryx. Another battle there between Baron Da Silva and Brendan McConley.
I have no idea what's going on here. I think they're neck and neck though. I think Da Silva has that slight inside line. Yep, I think it's over. Yep, Da Silva has claimed 14th place, I think she was attacking.
Okay, so by the way, we're looking at the track's stats here at the moment. It's very much an amazing sight to see here. Multiple battles left, right, and center here in Mandalika. We hope everyone here is entertained by the amount of racing that we have at the moment. We're about to get into the halfway stages into this race. Carolina Vieira da Silva is still leading, well, not exactly leading this race, but she is still leading the standing. But as it stands, she will lose the championship lead to none other than Muhammad Cashew, who is currently consolidating second place, and in turn would steal the championship lead away from the car that represents the Warden of Time, Oro Crony.
Whenever the Crony car is like playing a game of dice, it's either like the best race you've ever seen, or it's like you're all the way in the back. There's been no in between with the Crony car.
Yeah, we do mention that as well. We also wanted to mention that it's either feast or famine for the Crony right now. We also wanted to mention that there are 4 races in the Crony car where the car finished inside the top 5, and on the other 2 races finishes outside the points. So at the very least, the damage is lessened with this 14th place run at the moment, where she's currently in 14th place, where she can only gain like 4 points relative to Cashew's is 175. But the point still stands. It's the feast or famine season for the Crony car.
Yeah, that what he said, but basically maybe that can change this race. I doubt it. It's about almost halfway through the race, and 14th to the top 10 for Da Silva seems unlikely for now, especially if they're clocking at about 137, almost 138.
And looking at Lance Oryx right now, Lance Oryx is currently holding on to 4th place at the moment in the Anya Melfissa car. We're clocking at 200 kilometers, or nearly clocking into the middle stages of this race. Once we get around lap 23 and lap 24, it's official. We will be in the halfway stages of this race. Lance Oryx is still trying to find a way to get past Monica Shilage. Shilage is losing track of Muhammad Cashew, but Muhammad Cashew is slowly catching up to Aziz Mouassif.
Everything is going close right now, but I think Oryx is gonna
do a jump soon, and so is Morris. Morris is absolutely scary right now, currently pounding on Miyuki right now. And Pavo just passed Kurt at the moment somehow. I think that battle is still raging barely.
It's still on. Emerson Kurt has the inside line, but Raymond Pavo manages to get it clean around the outside, still side by side. Pavo has the inside, Kurt still has the outside. They're side by side, heading into the start-finish line. And looking at Emerson Kurt right now, he manages to defend.
Yippee! Good job, Kurt. You keep your 6th place title. Looking at the top 4 battle, Oryx is still close, but still not close enough to make a dive bomb, which is sad, because it's been like that for the past, like, 5 laps or so.
Well, whatever the case is, right now, Oryx is kind of frustrated that he's still stuck at the back behind Monica Shalage. Muhammad Cashew is still holding on to that second place at the moment. Aziz Muazif is still leading comfortably, but for how much longer as the tires are starting to give up? Cashew, I think he's on purpose. I think he's holding back on purpose, trying to save the tires throughout the mid and late stages of this race. Because as you can see here, last lap for Mama Cashew was a 134.84, and Muazif's last lap was a 35.59. So Cashew is slowly catching it back up into the lead.
That is a odd strategy of just holding back, make sure your tires don't wear down. That's something I haven't really seen happen very much. But speaking of which, Miyuki and Morris are going head to head, except that didn't last very long.
Okay, here comes another one. Here comes another one of these battles that we may need to pay attention right now. Maurice Trombley crosses the line. He's still in 5th place in the Muna car. And we have another battle here between Harapaf and Don Dorop. Harapaf on the inside and trying to hold on into the fast corners right now. Yes, into turns 11 and 12, Harapaf manages to get himself back out to 17th. Her next mission is to get into Santi Olivares and Brenda McConley and hopefully minimize the damage that she did during the cycle of pit stops. Remember, she was challenging for the top spots. She's now not even inside the points.
And it's in what I like to call a different split, because Olivares is currently 13 seconds behind McConley. And we have another 13 second with Mozzie, and then we have a giant split, and then there's like the top 4 split. So we have like 3 splits going on, 3 different races. Yay.
Yeah, we do want to mention as well that Maurice Trombley is having a lonely race, a race on his own right now. The gap between 4th and 5th and 5th and 6th is no lower than 13 seconds. So Maurice Trombley is on no man's land at the moment. And you can see here 135.6 for Mozzie, 135.2 for Mama Cashew. Cashew has basically stole 4/10 on that lap against Aziz Muazif. So Cashew, the race is still on for him.
Problem is though, Shalage is slowly catching up to Cashew, so it seems Mozif is just losing the race pace that they had earlier, which could be a very big problem going forward into this race. So Mozif might want to pick up the pace a little bit.
And you're right, Monica Shalage and Lance Oryx last lap they were in the 34s. Aziz Muazif and Mama Cashew were in the 35s. So the battle for the top 4 spots is still very much on. It's still a realistic opportunity for these top 4 cars to have a shot and have a crack at winning this race here in Mandalika.
But it's still a stalemate for right now, so we'll still be keeping an eye on that, even if it is just a stalemate.
And right now, we're looking at the current standings here at the moment. So we're still at 25 laps here in Mandalika, and hopefully we do mention that the internet connection have already been fixed, so we are not going to be seeing some random disconnects. And right now we're looking at Raymond Pavo. Raymond Pavo is really getting close there into Emerson Kurt once again. Will there be another move by Raymond Pavo? We'll have to wait and see.
I don't think there's gonna be a dive bomb this lap, but maybe last lap, especially with how close and the killer instinct of Pavo has just in general. It's definitely probably gonna be like next lap.
And
they're trying something though. They're definitely trying something.
And yes, we're looking at the current standings here. Raymond Pavlo still in 7th, and we're looking at some of the gaps that may have been open for some battles here right now. Looking at Cashew's gap to Moaziv, they are still closing back up. 135.7 for Moaziv, 135.4 for Muhammad Cashew. Another battle here between Garcia and Asim could be on the cards. Shalog Endless Ors, another 134s.
Oh, Shalage is like really close to Cashew. That's like battle close. It's about 0.2 away from Cashew, so we could finally see a shift within the leaderboard, the top 4 anyway, soon.
And right now Cashew is doing whatever he can to keep his lead inside second, well, not exactly keep his lead, but keep his second place right now. He wants to be there to challenge Aziz Muazif at the end of the race, but Monica Shalaga says, not what I can say about it. And as you can see here, Cashew, gets very close there. Shalaga gets very close to Cashew. And we are now seeing another battle for second. It has reignited between the 3 Lexus cars. Cashew is still in second. Shalaga is on the heels. Oryx in 4th. Who's going to be in to win it?
Oryx is about, I think, has like the best race pace. I think that was a solid 0.5 second difference between Oryx and Shalaga's lap time. So I think in terms of like the net winner, I think Oryx is gonna, with the pace they have now, I think that's gonna be a winner.
Right now, Marcelo Doe and Don DeRop are currently in the turn 10 right now. Aziz Muazif is about to get through some lap traffic, and right now we've already passed halfway of this race so far. Over 100 kilometers have already elapsed in this race, and as you can see here, Aziz Muazif is getting and inching very close into the lap cars, well, soon to be lap cars, of Don DeRob and Mercer Ledoux. And now the next stage of this race is about, well, what can the leaders do to basically dodge these mobile chicanes that is going to be the back markers.
They should just have the lap cars go faster, personally.
But the thing is, they're trying to go fast, but the conditions are not permitting, unfortunately. Looking at Aziz Muazif, he's edging very close to the lap cars. Shalagi is eyeing for an opportunity against Muhammad Cashew, but if I were them, I'd say enough racing between each other, save your cars until the end, and try for a chance to overtake Aziz Muazif. And right now we're seeing another battle here between Emerson Kerr and Raymond Pavlo. Raymond Pavlo is looking for every opportunity, every nook and cranny that he can find to make a move. As you can see here, so there's a lot of damage on the back of the car of Emerson Kerr. He might have seen some contact from somewhere, and I think it's either from I think it's from Kate Garcia, who's now down to 12th place. But it's still very much a very manic race here at the moment.
What? Did Morris pass Miyuki somehow? Morris is in 8th.
Yeah, Morris is in 8th and has kind of built a gap over Miyuki. 7.6 seconds behind Morris there on Miyuki. But meanwhile, Cashew is not looking for the pace that he's looking for, because Cashew has lost a 10th of a second on Aziz Muazif that last lap, and Shalagi and Lance Oris are still battling against each other. But they may have lap traffic to think about, because right now, looking at Aziz Muazif is really catching up to the lap traffic here. Here's the lap traffic between Don Drop and Mercer Ledoux. Basically, civilization versus chaos at the back of the track here. You do mention that Mercer Ledoux and Don Drop are currently back at the back, and you mentioned that the Rob might be going to try to hold the leaders up. This may be a possibility, a real possibility.
Who would have thought? Maybe this is a perfect world after all.
Who knows? Maybe the world is perfect, maybe the world isn't perfect. But meanwhile, we're looking at another battle between Kate Garcia and Jeremy Assam, side by side between the two Nissan cars. 17 versus 03, Nino Mayanan versus Vestia Zeta. There could be contact, there is no contact. And as you can see here, Assam takes evading action away from a dive bombing Kate Garcia. Kate Garcia is looking for every opportunity in the book. As you can find, they're still side by side between the two as they are about to approach turn 15, a very tricky braking section. Will Garcia make a move down the inside? The answer is she's taking it very mellowy. Gonna try to find a way to push Assam off of the equation. But Kay Garcia is still unable to overtake Jeremy Assam, and as they keep doing this, they're gonna keep hurting the tires even more. The cost of being aggressive.
This is gonna be... And then, of course, Garcia and Azam are both Nissans, I believe, which is already a problem on itself, like I've mentioned for the 100,000th time on this race. Nissans don't do well on this track, and wearing out the tires only makes them do worse, and it's just scary.
And looking at the gap between Assam and Garcia relative to RMS, the RMS have, I think, clawed back up the gap between the two, but the gap is now opened back up to 14 seconds. And when they're looking at the field right now, Shalage currently in 3rd place, Oryx in the 4th. Cashew is also now getting himself back into contention there. 136.054 for Cashew. Mozip only has a 36.3, and now we're into the lap car territory for Aziz Mozip. This is an opportunity for the Lexus car to try to at least close the gap to Aziz Mozip.
Oh, this could be very, very bad for Mozip, depending on how fast they clear the cars. This could also mean that the top 4 battle could finally break out of a stalemate like it's been in for the past like 10-15 laps.
And right now we're now basically around 18 laps to go. We're on lap 30 of this race, and since we're here to talk about the build up to the 4th festival, just to remind you that this race will be one of many races to help hype up the Hololive 4th Festival, our bike parade coming up on the weekend of March 18th and March 19th. And if you want to know your further details of this this big live event that happens every once a year in Hololive, we'll have to wait and see as we try to look for an opportunity. The hashtag HeroGutter Hololive is there on the bottom right for anyone who wants to use it. Still wants to trying to find opportunity, but cannot find it. If you want to buy tickets for the 4th Festival All Bike Parade, whether it is the on-site or the live streaming one, scan the QR code into the bottom right so that you will be able to catch up to the concerts, at least for the live streaming one. If you can attend the live concert, then you're able to do so as well. Marion Morris and Raymond Pavel on the battle on its own. And if you want to find out more about Hololive Super Expo 2023, you can also scan this QR code if you want to know more about the biggest event in Hololive.
Please spend your money. By the way, this isn't sponsored.
Yeah, I know this isn't sponsored. Just wanted to tell you guys that this is not sponsored. We're still a fan project that we just want to help promote Hololive whatever we can. We don't want to earn any money on this one as it is. And right now, and look at Les Orange getting very close there onto Monica Shalake. They're now side by side.
Oh, finally. Something that breaks the stalemate, except I don't think Oryx is going to be able to pass. No.
And looking at the gap between Wazif and Cashew now dropped down to 0.7 of a second.
Oh, this is very, very scary for the top 4. Okay, lap traffic has officially played a big part within the top 4 battle.
Remember, there are no...
Still lonely.
Stalemate is broken. The race is on. 17 laps to go here in Mandalika. And as you can see here, Shilage is now making a move. She's making a move on to Muhammad Cashew. Kyla Kowalska versus Mori Calliope. 4 versus 58. There could be a battle. There's a battle brewing, and the battle is very much hot and on the heels. Will there be a move down the outside? And now Les Horse is back into the mix.
It's gonna be a 3-way. Okay, this is just scary. Shilage managed to barely keep on the 3rd, and then we got the long stretch right here. The Lexus cars usually aren't as grand on here, but it's still alarming to see Shilage very close to Cashew and Mozif. Oh, and then Oryx does yet another pass. I'm losing track of what's going on. Hold on, please take over.
Yeah, right now we're looking at Mozif. He can properly clear the lap car of Lado now goes a lap down, and now Moazif manages to clear himself and Mercer Lado. And looking at the battle between Shalagi and Oryx there, Oryx is now looking for a move into third place. Trying to go for a move there into the fast sweepers right here. And now Cashew is looking for an opportunity to pass Lado himself. It's very much a mission necessary for Mama Cashew to get past the lap car of Mercer Lado, and he finally is able to get the job done. Almost, actually. And as you can see, Lado is still struggling with the tires there, and the more time he spends behind the lap car, the more trouble it goes. And look at Shalagi once again.
We're about to see like the most heartbreaking crash of like all time right now. They're getting way too close to each other for comfort.
Getting
They're
way
like
too close for comfort,
paint.
indeed. They're basically going hammer and tongs between each other here right now. Shalagi is still behind Cashew, and Cashew, crucially, is still behind Mercer Lado. It's gonna be an imperative for them to get past the lap car of Mercer Lado, and right now, Cashew is aiming for any opportunity in the book for him to pass Shalagi, the lap car of Mercer Lado, because look at the gap between Moazif and Cashew.
Yeah, it's shot down to like 2 seconds, sorry, 0.2 seconds, and now it's shot back up to 4 seconds. Okay. This is the power of lap traffic, people.
Lap traffic if blue flags is not a thing. And as you can see here, Shalagi and Lance Orts again on the battle once again, side by side here between the two Lexus drivers. And still Shalagi holds on to the final podium positions. Orts is still sniffing for any opportunity that they could that Orts could find. Will Cashew make a dive bomb down the inside? The answer is no, he's not close enough.
I wouldn't be so... Actually, I thought that was Mazda. Never mind. Yeah, I'd be very concerned to pass Mercer Lado right now. Your, like, position really depends on it right now. Please, for the love of God, Cashew. Please pass them.
And we could be seeing some 3 wide action! Oh, Lance Oryx almost making it 3 wide between Shalagi and Cashew. We could have been seeing a monumental crash between the battle for second. Well, fortunately, Oryx has his head on, bolted on into his mind, all that stuff to back himself out of this. And now Shalagi goes around the outside, the inside of 16, which will be the outside of turn 17. And now Cashew trying to go for the outside move into turn 17 right now. And looking at Aziz Moazif. Now Aziz Moazif is now caught up behind Don the Rock.
That's like a solid 4.5 seconds lead Mazda has against Cashew now. I thought it was like 5 seconds because I was kind of stupid, but nope. It's actually around 4 seconds, and it is closing rapidly actually now.
Because Moazif has caught up to Don the Rob. Don the Rob is currently is an 18th place at the moment, not contending for points, but he has a race that he still needs to fight, and he's fighting against Mercer Lado. And as you can see here, Aziz Moazif tries to make a move around the outside. Will he make it move? Will he make it work? The answer is no, because he's still stuck in there. And look at the gap. It was 4 seconds. It's now down to 2.5.
Lap traffic is very powerful, as seen here. That's proof. Oh no, I'm too tired.
Meanwhile, don't worry, I'll try to cover you as much as I can. Meanwhile, Aziz Moazif is trying to find an opportunity to get past get past the Rob there. Chaos is providing for all of us here in Mandalika. Bales is providing her power to bring chaos into this racetrack. And now the gap's dropped down to 1 second, 0.7 seconds. 7/10 the gap between Moazif and Cashew, and it keeps shrinking.
Yeah, it is very alarming now, and now Moazif has to 140, and then compared to a 136 is absolutely nightmarish. Moazif has to pass that lap car now.
He has to pass it now, and if he wants the time to do it so, then he has to do it immediately because Cashew is catching up. And while Cashew and Wasif are trying to play a game of chicken on who gets to pass the lap traffic first, Shalage is now trying to find an opportunity herself to get inside the lead pack once again, as Alex Oris is stuck behind Mercer Lado still.
Come on, Oryx.
Oh, there's nearly contact. There's nearly contact between Moazif and the lap car of the Rock. And now the battle for the top 3 is now really at hand. The gap between the top 3 is under a second. It's about 7/10 or 6/10. And good to know that the live chat is still very much on. We're still seeing viewers viewing this race live at the moment. We don't want to miss the final stages of this race because it's a battle of basically the battle of Indonesia, the battle of Mandalika is still holding on. Cashew is still looking for an opportunity to get past Wasif. Wasif is trying to find a way to get past the lap car. Will we be seeing a move down in turn 17? We could be seeing a side-by-side battle between Wasif and Cashew. The answer is still no. Looking at Cashew, he has a good exit off of 17. Let's see what happens next.
I have no idea what's gonna happen next, but 141 is not very good.
141 is not very good.
I think so anyway, but at least compared to a 139 that Oryx is getting, because Oryx I think finally passed that last car.
Not really.
Final. Okay. Oh, I lied actually. I lied. Oryx didn't pass that car.
And
okay.
Looking at the Rob here, the Rob is still holding on to the lap car right now. Shalag is looking for an opportunity to get past Mohamed Cashew for third place at the moment. And as you can see here, Shalag in third trying to get past Cashew for second. Wazif still holding on into this race lead, but for how much longer? Wazif needs to get past the lap car, and soon Wazif looking for the inside, but she's still not close enough. He's gonna leave the door open for Cashew and Shalage right now as well. And look, the pace of the Rob is so bad at the moment that even Lado is able to catch up.
This is just sad. This is sad. Okay.
Yes, we do. We want to know that Mandalika is made for MotoGP. It has hosted Indonesian Motorcycle Grand Prix, as we see by the massive amount of gravels and runoffs and all that stuff. So not exactly amount of gravel, a lot of concrete runoffs here. This was made for bike racing, and of course, it's not really made for Formula 1 much, as you can see here with Losail. It's definitely made for GT3 car racing as well, as it offers a different style of racing in general. Sure, the elevation isn't that much, but with a lot of space that they were being given, there will be a lot of acres that they are being given at the moment. We're seeing a massive treat of racing here at the moment.
That is certainly one way to put it. A different way of racing. Yeah. Oh, it's like. This is like, actually no, this isn't like the worst lap traffic I've ever seen. That one goes to when Thomas Sneaks once lost Tony Vizzingo.
Look at this! Look at this! Monica Shalage finds a spot to overtake Mohamed Cashew around the outside!
Finally, some movement in the top four.
And another movement there for Les Ortiz. He finally tries for Les Ortiz gonna finally try to get past the lap car of Mercelado as well. And now Shalage is overtaken. Aziz wanted for the race lead, and is now side by side with Don the Rob. This could be a chance for Shalage to hold on to her race lead.
Okay, we've been waiting like 18 laps for this. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty satisfied. Good job, Shalage.
Shalage has now cleared the 2 lap cars of the Rob and Lado, and it looks to be Monica Shalage's race to lose.
Okay. Sorry, I'm making those stupid noises again, but still, I am so ecstatic that the top 4 finally had some movement. I've been waiting at least 18 laps for that, and you know what? I'm not disappointed in the slightest of this result.
And looking at the lap times, Also on the good back here, since being cleared of the whole traffic and stuff, Monica Shalagi is literally being unleashed on the final sector alone. She is basically 2 seconds faster than Aziz Moazib, Mama Cashew, and Lance Oryx. So basically, now, unless they can clear the lap car of Don the Rob, it's now the battle for second.
Yeah, I don't think first place is gonna get cleared unless coincidentally they get in an awful crash and end up going MIA. That would be awful, wouldn't it?
And right now, looking at Shalagi right now, let's see how much, let's see how they can try to get past. And again, Wazif has the inability to clear Don the Rob, and that means Mama Cashew is aiming for an opportunity to get down the inside of Aziz Moazib down into turn 11. And look at Maurice Tremblay. We did mention that in the middle of the race he had a lonely race. He's now back inside the battle for maybe second place.
He is? I mean, yeah, he is. And also, Mazif and Cashew are going head-to-head right now.
And we almost saw like a green, we had a brief amount of yellow flags there showed because the car was off the track momentarily. And look at the gap for between Shalagi and Cashew. We're going to be seeing the full image of what lap cars do between the whole and what clean air does for the car. The Monica Shalagi 135.463. Mama Cashew 140.747. So Shalagi is literally gaining 5 seconds a lap from all of this, while everyone is still stuck behind Don the Rob. Chaos is providing.
Who would have thought Don the Rob would have been a saboteur? I guess I did technically, but that's really not the point here. Also, it would be really funny if Maurice Tremblay got second, in my opinion.
Would be really funny as he was basically he wasn't really much of a contender earlier on, but now he's looking to find a way to get past. And yes, we do mention that yes, this is what happens when we do not have blue flags, as it could basically bunch up the field at the moment. As you can see here, this time looking at Mama Cashew, he's also unable to clear Don the Rob. Just shows you the straight line advantage, but manages to shuffle the Bay car offline, so Cashew is now free to catch up to Monica Shalagi. But this time, even Aziz Moazib manages to clear, and Lance Oryx do the same. We'll have to wait and see.
This finally some aggression. You see, the problem. This is how Shalagi managed to overcome Cashew. It's because they weren't aggressive enough when it came to lap traffic. They needed. When you see lap traffic, you're basically on a time bomb for for like the first few laps you go to until eventually your competition just catches up. So you gotta be extremely aggressive when handling lap traffic.
Another lap car in hand. Santi Olivares started in the championship standings in the Watson Amelia Honda. Shalagi has probably one last hurdle to pass, and that's Santi Olivares. And will she be able to do it without crashing? We'll have to wait and see.
Don't tempt it. Don't test it, please.
But we'll have to wait and see here because Monica Shalagi, it's either Monica Shalagi or Aziz Moazib winning this. It will be a fantastic, popular win, as we haven't seen a HoloLive Indonesia car win yet in the HoloLive GT3 International Series, and it even dates back to the invitational race back in Suzuka. So it is going to be a very popular win for each of these drivers at the moment. If they could pull off a massive upset, like even for Aziz Moazib. Aziz Moazib mysteriously stole the race lead from when the pit stop cycles have absolutely finished. That was an insane surprise, and we all got caught off guard.
I'm still slightly mad about that. He was supposed to get out in like 12th or something. He got out in first. That makes me slightly mad.
But don't worry, that's only because he had less time to feel the car. Because when he switched his tires, that wasn't a set amount. But because he switched the fuel as well, and the fuel stop wasn't as long as he predicted, he managed to basically jump everyone. And looking at the field once again, Shalagi had a 135.294, and Muhammad Cashew, we're looking at the lap times here at the moment, 135.815. So unless Shalagi had a massive hiccup trying to overtake Santi Olivares, we could be seeing another race in the final laps.
I don't think Sharado will have to deal with Olivares unless I'm like slightly blind and they're actually already fighting. So I'm gonna pretend that option doesn't exist.
And looking at the standings right now, we're looking at some of the other battles here right now. In the battle for 10th and 11th, the best Nissan is Emerson Kurt, and he's down in 8th place at the moment. Basically, the best Nissan out there, still out there. And looking at the battle between Harapaf and Carolina Vieira da Silva, Harapaf actually managed to get past her, and now Vieira da Silva is now out of the points.
Alright, the saplings are gonna scale or exactly 1 point. Let's go. Actually, no, wait, hold on. I'm gonna find it. Well, this is a win for the saplings anyway. This is a win for the saplings.
A win for the saplings in a sense, yes. 1 point gain is better than no points gain. And also looking into the gap between Shalage and the rest of the field right now, we apologize for the low frame rates at the moment. She's getting close to well, she's getting close to the guy in 17th place, Santi Olivares. He was, I think, third in the standings now, and he's going to be losing out on a lot. And because Casio is in second, he is going to definitely steal the championship lead.
Oh, this is going to be a very big hiccup for the results, isn't it?
And looking at the battle for 5th place right now, the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7 is up because Bromley is now stuck behind the 42 car of the Hakos Bills Nissan. But right now, Trump is looking for an opportunity, as well as Marion Morris. And now we're going to be seeing a battle between 5th and 6th for Marion Morris and Maurice Tremblay. Also, we apologize for the amount of lag that we have. It's a bit unreal that we have this amount of lag at this given time, but okay, it's now back up. So Morris and Tremblay now free to battle each other. But meanwhile, the top 4 have now been strung out. So we could be seeing an anticlimactic end of this race after such a basically mind-boggling middle of the race.
Yeah, that's probably...
My friend was calling me, I kind of declined out. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If Morris can get Tremblay out of 5th, it's gonna be in all Lexus top 5 except for Maziv, because Maziv refused to get out in 12th place like a normal person.
And looking at Shalage is catching up into the lap car, but I think it's still too far. But look at the gap between Shalage and Cashew, 13 seconds. That just shows you how aggression can sometimes lead you to some very amazing stuff, amazing racing that we have at the moment. Now, if it was Formula 1, Cashew could try to pit and get fastest lap, but the deltas are not providing at the moment. So right now, Cashew is going to be condemned to stay in a lonely end of this race in 2nd place. But it's not all too bad, because we're looking into the big championship order right now. Cashew is going to steal the championship lead away from Brendan McCauley and, importantly, Carolina Vieira da Silva.
Yippee! Anyway, so with that, Cashew stealing 1st place. Sorry if my microphone is really bad. Is my microphone bad right now?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
It's better? Okay. It's gonna be a little bit of a mix-up, like I've said, for like the 4th time in the results. So it's gonna look completely different from before this race, to say the least. Oh wait, hold on. We got fighting between Harry Paff and Da Silva.
And also, Aziz Moazev and Lance Oryx, you mentioned that we wanted to see a podium lockout for the Lexus cars. We could be seeing one for sure. Lance Oryx going around the outside onto the final 2 corners. Heading into the final 2 corners. Oh, Oryx, goes off wide. But I think it's still okay for track limits at the moment. Oryx versus Moazev. The Lexus podium sweep might still be in the cards in the final stages of this race.
Oh, I just saw how comfortable Oryx was on those corners. It was smooth. But Mossive has the power on the straight is the thing, because I believe that's a Honda. So Oryx really has to make use of the corner speed in order to catch up and hopefully get that Lexus lockout. We were planning on getting like.
Oh, and look at this one.
14.
Harapaf up to 14th. Forget 1 point. Harapaf's looking for 4 because Harapaf is now up to 14th, overtaking Brendan McConley.
Wowzers! 4 points instead of 1. This is just Fauna's lucky day today.
Well, a lucky day in an otherwise gloomy, cloudy day for Harapaf, Sarah's Fauna, and all the saplings. And look at Baron De Silva trying to steal a point from fellow championship contender Brendan McConley, but Brendan McConley is probably going to have none of it because it's a fellow championship contender. And looking at Santi Olivares there, look at Monica Shalage, she's now caught up into the lap car.
Oh, this could be a very big problem for Shalage unless they clear it in like 2 or less laps.
But don't worry.
Even then, we only have like 3 laps left to go.
Yeah.
In this fine race right now. It was very entertaining, but it's about to come to a close very, very soon. So
but the final, but the final podium positions are still up for grabs for Lance Oryx and Aziz Muazziv. Aziz Muazziv will really want to finish on the podium for the first time in HoloLive GT3 International. Lance Oryx will also want to get back on the podium and bring that Lexus podium sweep in effect. You predicted that there will be a Lexus podium sweep, but right now it's in jeopardy unless Lance Oryx has anything to say about it.
I hope they do. I hope, but I can only really hope, you know.
And looking at the final stages of this race, Oryx is still trying to find any opportunity that she can find. And right now, it's still pretty much okay-ish for the car in the 58 Kyla Kowalska car. So still the battle between 3rd and 4th is still there basically. I'm still trying to find words there as I'm still also trying to type at the same time. Meanwhile, you know, look at this. They're not getting very close there. They're getting very close.
Yeah, they're just not going to make a move, though.
Oh, look, here comes another battle here.
Making a move. Azim and Garcia are kind of going at it. They've been going at it for, like, the whole race. And I think Azim ended up winning it. No, it's still neck and neck right now.
No, well, it's no longer neck and neck because looking at Garcia's lost out to Jeremy Asim. Harapaf is looking for an opportunity to get past Aaron Mazzi in the closing stages for getting 4 points. She could be looking for 8.
8 points? Oh my god, it's absolutely mind-boggling.
Well, mind-boggling on an otherwise forgettable day because she was competing at the front, but now she's at the back. But meanwhile, Lance Oryx there. Final 2 laps of this race. Let's see what Lance Oryx has on offer against Aziz Muazziv. Will we see a Lexus podium sweep, or will we see Aziz Muazziv's first podium in HoloLive GT3?
In all honesty, Oryx is just not aggressive enough to take that spot from Muazziv.
And actually,
so I think Muazziv is going to get podium.
And actually, I actually wanted to note this. The gap was 10 seconds. The gap is now down to 4 seconds. The gap between Mugama Cashew and Shalagi is shrinking.
Can't make it.
Cashew can probably make it.
Can't make it. I'm calling it.
No. Cashew can still make it. There's still just over 1 lap to go. Because look at the last the deltas right now. Look at the delta right now.
There's no way.
Because the gap.
There's no way.
Because Cashew, the last lap was a 36.535. Shalagi is stuck behind the lap car Santi Olivares, 40.2. The battle for the final battle on the final lap could be looming. The final lap could be the most interesting final lap in HoloLive GT3 history, as Shalagi starts the final lap in the lead, still stuck behind Santi Olivares. Cashew could probably steal it in the end.
If Cashew wins this game is rigged.
This isn't rigged. This is competition.
This is rigged.
Oh dear, we have seen comments that this is going to be like Abu Dhabi 2021, and this could be one of the races that might be similar to it. The gap's now closed down to 1.7 seconds between Shalagi and Cashew.
He's not gonna make it.
Cashew can make it. Cashew
way.
can make it unless Shalagi can find a way to get past Santiago Olivares. Santiago Olivares is blocking the Kowalski car of Shalagi. Cashew slowly catching up. The gap is now dropping down to 1 second. Cashew is closing in. And yes, the gap has now closed down to 8 tenths.
No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Shalagi, please, for the love of God. Please.
And right now,
please.
yeah, right now it's either
Just
Shalagi
pass the
defends on the
car.
final lap or Cashew steals it on the final lap. They're now close down to 2 tenths of a second. This could be the battle that we're looking for at the end of this race. Shalagi is looking for her first Hololive GT3 win. Cashew is looking for his second. He wants to. Cashew is already guaranteed to take a lead in the championship standings. But will Shalagi manage to defend in the end? Looking at Cashew, looking for an opportunity. He can't find it. Shalagi representing Kyla Kowalski.
He's not aggressive
Exiting
enough.
third 17. Monica Shalagi is gonna take the win of her career as she takes the win at Mandalika.
I called it. I called it.
Oh, crap.
But whatever the case is, Moazif manages to score his first podium in Hololive GT3 as Lance Oryx settles for 4th place.
Oh, that is so stupid.
That's got to be one of the most exhilarating finishes in Hololive GT3 history. Up there with Putri Farakamal defending Mateus Juan de Porto back in Autopolis and all that. This has got to be one of the greatest Hololive GT3 finishes we've ever seen so far.
Oh, that is so.
And because Olivares was ahead of basically the leader of Monica Shalagi, the race is still on for them. Meanwhile, looking at the standings here, Tremblay finishes 5th, Boris 6th, Raymond Pavo 2nd, Emerson Cook will be the best Nissan in the field and finish 8th. Vieira da Silva and McConley are trading blows. McConley is gonna steal points away from da Silva. It's all or nothing on the final stages here. Miyuki finishes 9th, Pseudo 10, Asim 11, Garcia 12, Mazzy 13. Faf will have to stick with 4 points, and McConley is going to be looking to get that one solitary point for the Chumbuds.
This is the most disrespectful race I've ever seen.
But you know,
this is so disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. Okay, maybe it's a bit disrespectful, but to see Monica Shalagi finally winning in the end after after a massive race that we have seen so far, they have to say it's got to be one of the best races. It's definitely up there in terms of controversy, similar to Abu Dhabi 2021.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun. That was eventful. It was fun. I liked it. It was. Oh, that was something.
It has been an amazing race from start to finish, and as you can see here, Monica Shalagi from pole to the checkered flag. Although she had to fight her way into it, having to deal with Azim Wazim, who jumped everyone into pit stops. Shalagi and managed to win in the end, the first Hololive Indonesia car to win this race. Huge congratulations to Shalagi and Kyla Kowalski for winning at Indonesia for the first time. And also Mohamed Cashew is confirmed to take the lead in the championship standings in second. Aziz Muazif in third for his first podium finish in Hololive GT3 after a lot of things have gone against him. He's now in the podium finally. Lance Oryx, the local driver, in 4th place. Representing Anya Melfisa finishes 4th. Maurice Trombley 5th. Mary Morris 6th. Raymond Pavo 7th. Emerson Kerr in the Yofi Nissan 8th. Hanari Miyuki in the Kobokane Nissan 9th. And JC Sudo in the 13th. Crazy Oli car in 10th. Remember, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 9 Hololive Indonesia cars inside the top 10. A very good showing for Hololive Indonesia. Jeremy Asman in the Ina Nissan in the 11th. Kate Garcia in the Zeta Nissan 12th. Aaron Mazzi Iris Nissan 13th. has got to be kicking herself. She was competing in the front, but after the pit stop, she was down in the pack right now, but manages to still finish 14th. Brandon McConley 15th in the Gagura Nissan. Finish steals a point for Carolina da Silva. This could be important in the championship context because Carolina da Silva hasn't scored any points in 16th, as does Santi Olivares. Both Santi Olivares, Don DeRob, and Mercer Lado were the lap cars who had a say in how the race works. And I got to say, it has got to be very interesting. It has got to be one of the most chaotic races that we have seen. And yes, we have heard from Jenny that Monica Schlage, that she is absolutely enjoying her first win. So for Jenny, kudos to you for holding up the rest of the pack. But I did say that has already caught up to Schlage. Catching up to one car is one thing, but passing another car is another. Let's take a look into the winning pass onto from basically Schlage.
That was speech.
So this is basically during the race here at the moment. They were still stuck behind lap traffic. Let's take a look back into the basically the moment of the race that changes everything. You can see here on basically the second part of this race. Here you see Aziz Muazif still leading, and then you see Schlage looking for an opportunity to pass the car that is Mama Cashew, and look at Aziz Muazif as he tries to clear the lap car of the Rob. Let's see where he went. Let's see where it went wrong. Not on this lap, the next lap.
Okay.
So here it is. Here is the part. You can see Schlage really closed up onto both of these cars, and that is the race winning move. And as you can see here, Schlage finally gets the move done onto the 62, and actually also managed to clear the 42 of the Bay Nissan. So amazing stuff here from Schlage, and this has got to be the move of the race. The move of the race that defined how this race ended. And even if with Cashew catching up to Schlage in the end, Schlage managed to keep herself composed and got her win done. No real incidents in the end, but whatever the case is, it has got to be an amazing race. Definitely up there with the best race in HoloGT3 up to this point. I have almost lost my voice because of this, but whatever the case is, it has been one of the best showings in HoloGT3 that we have ever seen. And just a bit of a confirmation, let's get into the championship standings here. And we have had confirmation. Muhammad Kashi with 716 points over Carolina da Silva 630 is now your new championship leader, heading into Sentol in 2 weeks' time in the Mori Calliope Lexus. Da Silva in the Crony Lexus drops down to second again. Santi Olivares is still up there in third. Mario Morris fourth. Maurice Tremblay now up inside the top 5. And Brendan McConley, who drops down to 6th. Lance Oryx in 7th. Monica Schlage up into 8th. We do mention that if Schlage wins, he'll be inside the top 10. Jeremy Assam in 9th, and Aziz Muazif with his 3rd place finish, it will be 10th. And Emerson Kurt, 11th. Harapaf, 12th in the championship standings. Aaron Mazzi, 13th. Hanari Miyuki, 14th. Mercer Lado is still in 15th. Kate Garcia, 16th. JC Sudo, 17th. Raymond Pavel, 18th. And Don DeRob closes out the whole race deal with 19th. And with that out of the way, we hope everyone has enjoyed this stream so far. It's been a blast covering this race from start to finish. And as we also want to apologize for the mishaps that we've had earlier in the stream, we hope everyone has enjoyed the stream that we had so far. And I was about to get over into the outro. I am Mama Shani Reza in the commentary booth, and alongside me is Zeke Wimberly, and you've been watching the 2022-2023 HoloLive GT3 International Series. Wait, I forgot one more thing actually. We forgot to mention, since this race counts towards the HoloLive Indonesia Cup, We also wanted to mention that based on the previous race results, as we wanted to mention, Shalage is actually leading the Hololive Indonesia standings. The leading car in the Hololive Indonesia standings is Monica Shalage. Aziz Muazif second. Lance Oris in third. We will be updating the standings here in Twitter after this, and hopefully everyone will be there to check the Twitter for updates. But whatever the case is, again, I'm Mohammad Shahid Reza in the commentary booth, and alongside me Zeke Wimberly, and you've been watching the 2022-2023 Hololive GT3 International Series.